news, information, and entertainment. We are 1320 AM Info Radio. KSER Eugene, a Cumulus station.
My name is Jacob Larson, and you're listening to The Common Sense Show. Last week, we had Darcy Chappell, or Chappell, whatever her name is, and Heather Hammond on the show from the Emerald Valley Paranormal. And we discussed all sorts of stuff relating to the supernatural. It made for quite the interesting show. The ladies shared some personal experiences and gave us some insight into some of the things people have talked and wondered about. Personally, I think it's interesting, and throughout history, numerous people who have come to tell of ghosts, demons, angels, and the like that they have encountered, and yet there are still some people out there that are quick to dismiss such things as mere figments of an overactive imagination. Regardless of where you may stand on the subject, one thing is true. After all this time, we still don't know everything. And that means we have the opportunity to explore, pursue, read, and wonder about what is said, or about what is and what is not of this world. Now, there's one part of that show that stood out to me. It's a part that, because of my faith, I simply can't let go, and that is this. It's true, we live in a world that's surrounded by spiritual forces. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. And that's something that people don't want to recognize or acknowledge, because it's scary. Not much is known about it, and it makes people afraid. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be afraid of it. You just don't. When you give your heart to Christ, you become one of his own, and with that comes power and protection. So I don't worry about where I go or who I see. It says in the Bible that greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. And I believe that. Now you may say, wow, Jake, you've just dropped off the deep end here. And that may be true. Belief isn't something you just say. It's something you do. And God didn't give us a spirit of fear. In fact, God says to be anxious for nothing. Nothing. And I think that includes shadow people, ghosts, and demons. And here's for you. For those that are worried about demons. Demons fear us. That's right. They fear a person who believes and lives a life wearing the armor of Christ. Because everywhere a person like that goes, he's bringing a host of angels with him and the power of the blood of Jesus. So for the atheists, I just said a whole lot of nothing there. And they probably think I should be officially committed. But for believers, if you doubt or question what I'm saying is true, by all means check it with the Word. And my guess is, will you see that what I'm saying is founded in the Word, but it will grow in your faith, and with that, you'll feel emboldened. Almost as if you're like a child of a king, and you should act like it. So pull up your panties, wipe your nose, and have no fear. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Today we have a few special guests on the show. And just like we did with the men who came on the show to discuss women, we have assigned these different names. We have a Lady White, a Lady Blue, and a Lady Blonde on the show today. And we'll be discussing men. So if you have any questions for Lady White, Blue, Blonde, or myself, please feel free to call in at 541-284-7953. Once again, that number is 541-284-7953. Give us a call. Let us know what you think. Ladies, how are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
In rare form.
In rare forms. Okay, so not all of you got a chance to listen to the show on women.
Right.
No.
Okay. But you were able to listen to the 10 minutes of unedited version.
Yeah.
Prior to the show. And so how did you feel about that?
I about died laughing.
I thought it was hilarious.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah.
I thought it was probably typical.
Typical? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty typical.
Typical.
Yeah. We talk worse, though, when it's really going, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
You think women talk worse?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because in private, we talk way dirtier. It's like blah, blah.
Okay, well, I'm a guy, so I'm not familiar with any of the private conversations with women.
Yeah, see, guys are blah, blah.
Guys are blah, blah.
Yeah.
I feel like women give away more details.
Yeah. Women are
It's
more
just so
detailed.
much more personal and detailed. So
Yeah. And we're
when
not
girls
afraid to-
talk about their man, then
Yeah.
everyone knows exactly
Yeah.
everything
It's the
about that
emotional
man.
side that women talk about more.
Whoa, wait a minute here. Okay, what do you mean they give more details? I mean, those guys are pretty crude down there.
they're crude, but we give more details, like personal details, like emotionals, like what they're going through or something like that, you know?
I agree. I see
What they're
you're
going
trying
through.
to
See,
say.
okay,
become
once
way
again, I'm
more
a guy, so
transparent.
you're speaking a foreign language here. I don't get it. What do you mean emotional details? I mean, what would change the conversation down there? I mean, would the guys have to say, well, that made me feel really warm and fuzzy, or what?
No, it's more of the details about the man. Like, oh, he's going through a really hard time because what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I don't.
I would say more personal as opposed to sexual, maybe.
Closer to the mic, Lita.
I that certain age groups, perhaps, the sexual conversation is not as prevalent as she said, as what they're going through, those types of personal situations.
So, I mean, or you are.
I don't know. I talk about it all. Like with girls, I talk more detail. Guys are just kind of, they just do it. You know, they talk to their guy friends about doing it. That's pretty much all they do. They don't go in details about how sweet she was and how he touched her or she touched him and oh my God, he did this or she did that. Guys just don't go into that. It's emotional for them to be able to do something.
Of course they don't, because that's boring.
Yeah, but see,
I
women
mean, I
do.
practically
We're
fell
way
asleep just
dirtier
listening to
than
you.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And you can fall asleep. It's okay.
Okay, so some of the questions here. Okay, so what do you look for in a man to date?
I guess that's
And we're talking about dating here, somebody you're going to want to be with, not necessarily a one-night stand type of thing. What do you look for in guys that you want to date?
I would say common interests.
I would say it's attracted instantaneously.
So physical attraction.
It's, I like how a man walks.
ooh, me
Yes.
too.
I like
yes.
how a man. I like how a man
Yep.
walks. If he stands up tall, good gait. You know, like a man notices a woman's ass as she's walking.
Okay.
Okay, a woman notices how a man walks. I like
Absolutely.
that. That and his arms.
Okay, so
Yes.
like if he's slouching his shoulders, shuffling his feet, that type of thing, that's kind of a turn
Yeah,
off.
that's a turn
He has
off.
to walk confidently.
That is total turn off.
Okay, what about a guy who's got his shoulders back, chest pushed out, and
That's too cocky of himself.
Ooh, I like that.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't like that cocky full of himself.
I like
Okay.
conceited guys.
I don't. I like a man. Who
you like guys
knows-
that are conceited?
Yeah, I like a man
Absolutely
who knows what
conceited.
he
That
is.
they're good looking and they know it.
Okay.
I'm actually turned on by someone who speaks well.
That's pretty good, but then they get to be asses, and then you're just like,
Speaks well. Speaks well is like in proper dialect or something?
Correct.
no.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to
I
say
don't
this.
mean intellectually. I just mean proper dialect, that type of.
And
he
you
knows
don't
how
care.
To use English language.
You know what? I'm not into the, you know, this man ride. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't date a man who is so philosophical and I know this and I know that. Oh, I went to this.
So, okay, so how they walk shows confidence, and you want
Right.
them to be confident.
Right.
Yes.
Why is confidence so important to women? Confidence really seems to be a big deal among women. Why is that such a big deal among women, about a man being confident?
Well, genetically, women are attracted to someone who can protect them. So,
Okay,
I'm sure
and
it
so-
goes back to that a little bit.
So you're saying biology determines that then?
Partially, yeah. And it depends on what you like, too. I mean, different people like different things, but
Okay, but once again, how a guy walks, you guys equate to confident. Confidence is a big deal. You said that's what attracts you to guys.
It's a
Right.
continuation.
So a guy
Of
that
who you are,
is
though, too.
not confident, maybe he's had a difficult childhood. Maybe something's gone on. Maybe crying comes natural to him. Is that not okay for us
No.
guys to have emotions? I mean, women want
It is
guys with
okay to have
emotions, right?
emotions. It is okay to have emotions. Like when
Closer to the mic.
when you go and you watch Old Yeller, you don't want him to sit and cry.
When they watch Old Yeller, want him to cry.
Not through the whole movie. I mean,
So
I'm
it's not
allowed to
okay
cry.
for guys to
I'm
cry.
allowed to
I can't
cry.
imagine why
cry.
that they're
I
not supposed to cry.
like it.
I cry watching Old Yeller.
I like it when my guy cries, and it's hey.
Okay, cries in like a soft tear run down his eye, or sobbing like a baby.
It depends on the situation. I've seen both, and it
Holding
depen-
me and crying is one
Yeah,
thing.
I've seen devastation to where crying like a baby, and all you want to do is hold them and comfort them.
Yeah.
But then also a soft-hearted movie and just a little sniffle.
Okay, she's got a question mark on her head. I don't think she's ever experienced that type
no,
of cry.
I have. I hate when men cry. I'm not gonna lie
Oh,
about it.
it's- oh, it's
I
not-
want them to be strong all the time, and if you cry, then I'm like, wait, what's happening.
You know, back to your strong, and I totally agreed with the protection and that type of thing. I think the confidence also, it shows they're capable. I think the way they carry themselves, like I said, the way they speak, I'd like to see a guy who is capable.
I don't know. Confidence makes me confident.
Makes
Right.
you
It
okay.
makes me feel confident. I mean, if you're in a bad relationship, you walk with your head down and you don't feel confident. But when you're with somebody that's confident,
So it
makes
has a
you
big deal.
feel
It has a big
confident
deal.
and-
It equates to security for you.
No, it equates to, it makes me confident, so I don't have to feel inadequate about it. You know? A
Yeah, I'm
confident man makes
totally
me
confused.
confident. It's just, it's a natural, it fits.
Okay.
It just fits for me. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't.
So physical action is an initial thing when you see it. I mean, he's got to be physically attractive to you, and then the next thing you check is confidence, or is it confidence comes first? You notice the confidence first, and that's the attraction.
Well, sometimes confidence can make somebody more attractive, like physically attractive. Like when you see them across the room, you might not think, oh, wow, that guy's really hot. But then when you hear him talk, then he might become so much more appealing.
And
Okay, but
this-
can't talking also turn you off a little
That-
bit?
yeah,
Some
that-
guys,
it
when they
just-
open
it
their
really
mouth,
depends,
they're
but,
like a
like,
train wreck.
It depends. Like once you see their personality and stuff, I think that their looks can become more appealing or less appealing.
No, I just, if it fits when I see them, it fits when I see them. I don't have a particular type. And with a solid walk and a smile on his face when you look at him, and he looks right back at you.
Okay, so explain to me this, and this is something that guys, I mean, literally, I mean, we see this and we're like, we can't figure it out, okay? We'll see a woman who's totally attractive, totally fine, smoking hot body, and she's walking around with some D-bag that is just like complete and utter nerd. I mean, the guy can't two sticks together to do anything. I mean, totally pathetic. How on earth do women get themselves involved with guys like that? I mean, guys that literally, if it was it's about a competition. I mean, basically, and women, from a guy's perspective, think that guys think that women, are trying to pick the best candidate to be with, and yet you see these guys, you see these hot smoking women walk around with these guys that are serious, are losers.
It's to make them look retarded.
How on earth does that happen?
Well, I think biologically women are attracted to a man that can take care of them. And before it used to be about being strong and like hunter-gatherer type thing. Like if they could provide for the family or, you know what I mean? Like take care of the woman. And now it's not about physical capabilities. It's more like a woman feels secure in a man who makes a lot of money.
It's about making men look retarded. It really is.
It's about making men look retarded. How does that make men look retarded? I mean, seriously, if a guy's walking around with something on his arm, I mean, he's looking pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah,
We
but
just
when-
can't figure out how
but
that
when
happened.
Other guy them, it's making them look retarded.
Other guys look at him, we figure out how it happened.
Exactly.
You want to know the reality? And I shouldn't really throw this in here because,
You're a
but
guy.
from a guy's perspective, I know it's really hard to do this one because but I mean, the bottom line is from a guy's perspective, we look at the woman and we go, you know what, she must not be that bright.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's what we think.
Or the woman could have started dating him when she wasn't good looking and then figured out how to do her
That's
hair and
possible.
makeup. And now she is good looking. She went from like a 5 to a 10.
The
Or
other thing that
maybe-
pops into our mind,
Or maybe met him on Facebook, perhaps. And there's more than looks, folks. Here, there's such a thing as technique. There's all kinds of things that play for looks.
okay.
Okay. Technique on what?
Sex, obviously for me.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that pops into our mind is the guy must have a lot of money. Because let's face it, I mean,
That's
if you're
what
a
pops into
guy,
my mind.
if you're a guy and you're hanging with an attractive girl and you're ugly as sin, I mean, you got to have coin, you got to have some cash. Simple as that.
I don't know.
Disagree?
I don't do them anything.
It's not about money.
No.
No.
If it was about money, I'd be a millionaire.
That's right.
Seriously,
That's
I
true.
would definitely be a
Okay,
millionaire
what about you?
if it was about money.
If it was about money, then I would already be a trophy wife.
Yeah, I'd own 6 brothels.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay. Questions on the mind of all guys. Does penis size matter?
No.
Yes.
Out.
That's what I'm saying. If it's too big, you can't do anything with it,
Yeah,
really.
I'm an all average girl.
Too big's no good.
Well, no, if it's too big, what's the point of riding?
It
It's
can't
like a
go
big-
all the way in.
Yeah, it's like a big horse. You're scared of it.
Okay.
Well, plus
I wouldn't ride a big horse either.
Doesn't everyone like the little slap, 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 you know?
Well, women,
Yeah,
I mean,
you can
you know,
still have that with
guys
an
think this is a big
average-sized
deal.
kid.
Okay, guys really think this is a big deal, and this is a huge hit on a male ego. I mean, they tease each other about this stuff. So if you have a woman that has got a problem with the size,
How often do guys actually see another guy's boner?
yeah, that's not.
Okay, now how is a guy? Because I know they go from this big to that big. So
Okay,
how's
we're
a
on
guy
radio,
supposed-
so we can't see. I can't see your hand description.
Okay, it goes from very little to very large.
Okay.
Okay. It's possible that just because he's little when he's not hard doesn't mean he's not big when he is. So I
Wow.
mean that
Okay.
guys don't see that part.
So the question I would ask you back though, Jacob, where does this start from? Why are guys so worried about their size? I think it's situated by men. I don't ever think about women going around averaging and going, "Boy, that guy, he's just way too little. He can't perform."
Yes,
And
they do.
I just
Yes, they
never
do.
heard it, and I think I also go back to again. There are ways of getting around size. I'm sure that size.
Okay, well, to answer your question, really simple, because in the bedroom for a guy, it's about performance.
Performance key,
He's there to
not
perform,
penis.
and
Correct. Right.
and so a woman that gets upset with a guy, if they decide up or something like that, that's one of the very first is his performance.
I've never done that.
I hate to think of women like that.
I have never done that.
I'm just simply mentioning from a male
I
perspective.
agree. I
Yeah.
think my friends, when they break up with their man, they're like, well, he sucked in bed anyway, and he wasn't that big.
Yeah.
See, if it sucks the first time, I won't do it again. So I guess
Genuine
there's no
disbelief
breaking up.
there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that's where guys get that. I mean, you know, if they ever have an apprehension or concern about, you know, whether or not they're adequate, something along those lines, I guarantee you it's rooted, it's founded in the women that they've been with.
I think guys should get
Guys do the
confident
same
in-
exact thing.
I think guys should be confident if they're just average. If they're too small, then that's kind of a bummer. But if they're too big, then they should worry more about being because
I agree. I
'Cause
think
that's a
that would
problem,
be
too.
That's
much
a
of
problem,
a
yeah.
much of a turnoff
I
as
think
to-
the
Just
average
because
guy
you have
is
a big
just
penis
like
doesn't
perfect.
mean anything.
Okay, next question.
Why do they think that anyway?
We just discussed why they think that.
Oh, the actual is completely different than conversation. I'd ask you why, but you're the host.
What? Ask me why what?
Why?
Why what?
Is penis and all that stuff so important?
Because it's about performance.
Yeah.
Okay? And for a guy, they want to perform well. So, okay, so do nice guys finish last?
No. I don't
No,
think
I
so.
think so.
I don't know. I guess it depends
Come
on the
on.
guy. Yes.
Oh
Jesus,
my
criminy.
Well,
Yes,
eventually they do. In the
But
beginning,
they have had
in the
women that
beginning they
bop them on
don't
the
because they
head and do that to them. They've been
the nice guys get a lot of really hot girls, but I think keeping them is what's the struggle is. So,
I don't know.
Well, they get to be friends with a lot of hot girls. But I mean, come on.
See,
and eventually they get to sleep with them and stuff, but the girls don't really take them seriously a lot of
No,
the time.
come on. I mean, now you're giving pie in the sky stuff. Every guy knows that if you end up in the friend zone, you're stuck there.
not really.
That's not necessarily
No.
true.
That's not
no.
necessarily
no.
true. No,
I got Theron
it's
back
not.
here
No,
shaking
you're-
his head, nodding up, down.
no,
Yes,
no,
okay.
no.
So we're talking about three women right here, and you're telling us that that's not true. But listen, based on what we know, I mean, that's just how it works. If you start out in the friend zone and you get stuck there, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
There has to be you've got to show that woman from the initial that there's some sort of attraction there. Otherwise, you're done.
Yeah, but the guy shouldn't tell the girl that he wants to be with her. He should say, "Hey, I want to be your friend." When a man says, "I want to be your friend," the woman is going to be more attracted to him because he's not wanting.
Okay, you know what? This actually comes into the next question. The next question is, does no mean no, or does it mean not now? I'm not ready yet, or try harder.
That question makes
I'm
me
just
crazy.
telling.
That question makes you crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, which is it?
Because
Lady
it
Blue, I
is
mean, come on.
so- It is that question is so not black and white. If the girl says no and goes, no, please no. I mean, obviously the guy's gonna think, yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. But if she says no in a certain way, I think that guy knows she means no. And
I don't
anything
know
beyond that is
because I
wrong.
have said
Yeah.
no more than once.
Yeah, it's a not no, right?
No, it's not no.
But it's
but
the
I have
tone.
also said no.
It's the tone. It's not really the act of saying no.
Or not.
Yeah.
Or
Okay,
active.
so so
I like
basically,
playing games.
as-
I know, but I'm not serious.
I do too.
great, beautiful.
Well, it all depends on the man. It all depends on the man.
You're over here trying to swat. You can't hit people. It all depends on the
Who are you
man.
trying to swat me, her, or
Lady
him?
White, what's that mean?
What?
It all depends on the man. What's that mean?
Well, you can read a guy and a guy.
If a woman's saying no, how does that depend on the man?
Because if the guy, like, say if you were walking down to me from a bar, you know, and I
Okay.
was attracted to you and I said no, you know, or a guy says, hey, I want to be your friend, you know, I'd be like, oh, cool, he's be my friend. And then the curiosity of the woman then, you know.
Okay, but what about if he, if you said no, and then he kept being persistent? Wouldn't that show confidence?
That's a turnoff.
Oh, I think it would show confidence.
That's
It
a
would show
turnoff.
confidence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something you guys were attracted about earlier. So
But too much is too much.
I like too much.
Yeah.
so really doesn't mean no, basically. And so all these
Unless
guys.
unless the tone is like a very clear, like, no,
Like
this
I
is
said,
not
I've said
happening.
no, and then I've said
Like,
no.
but if you're just like, no, ha, ha.
So now you're changing your answer, basically,
No, I'm
to
not.
suit Lady Blue's comment. Great. That's
Well,
nice.
no, I agreed with Lady Blue, but I also think that no doesn't always mean no. Like,
No doesn't always mean no.
doesn't
I mean
always
that's
and we all essentially said it just different.
nice. If,
I do
if
believe.
there is no clarity
Yeah.
here, I don't
Well,
know
of
why I
course.
expected any. I shouldn't have. Foolish of me. Okay. Do you really want to? The dress makes you look fat. Seriously?
yes, I absolutely do.
I do too.
my
asked.
my ex would tell me, and
Yeah.
we had that relationship of where, like, when he gained weight, I was like, hey, look, dude, like, you're kind of getting big.
Yeah, I always
And
know
you
what I
fix
look
that.
like. I'll ask, and then I'll change 8 times, and then I'll ask again, and I'm like,
Okay, so you put on
Yeah.
this dress, you come out of your room, your man's sitting there, and you say, "Does this make me look fat?" And he says, "Yeah, actually, honey, you look like a."
Well, he
That's wrong.
obviously there's a more tactful way to sit, but my ex would say, that dress doesn't really suit you. Looked nicer. But yeah,
okay,
if,
so
if
we're not.
anyone
You want us
calls
to be
you a
truthful, but
name-
kind of not really.
Yeah,
If
Mm.
anyone calls you a name, like, yeah, you're a hippo, and they degrade you for asking
What about an
the
elephant
truth.
yeah.
Oh, well, then that's much better.
or a hippopotamus, something like
there
that?
we go. Okay, then it doesn't matter, right?
Whether it
What if he
looks
doesn't
good
say
or-
anything? He
whether
just
it
goes,
looks good or not-
like Kate.
Whether it looks good or not, my boyfriend always says, "Nope, makes you look fat."
No.
My boyfriend. is
Whether
awesome.
whether it looks good or not, he said.
Always.
He's just joking,
But
though, right?
the thing is, he doesn't want to hurt my feelings, but he doesn't want to swell my head.
It seems.
But he doesn't want to swell your head.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, it does. I mean, if you tell a girl she's hot all the time, it's going to swell her head. Just like a woman saying that a man's.
So it's important to beat him down occasionally.
No, it's important to kind of just go with
Like,
it.
joke around about it, because if they
Yeah.
fish for compliments and you feed into it too much, then their head gets way bigger.
Yeah.
Wait, Jake. I still want to weigh in.
Keep
on that
going.
one. I guess I have a little different perspective on that too, because it goes back to the whole relationship thing. I would like to think that the guy that I'm with is not going to volunteer anything unkind unless he really, really thinks that it's warranted, and that he really needs to say something to I'd see it more as a protection. Other than that, if I were to ask him, does it make me look fat, I would really expect an answer, yes or no, and then I would decide. But I think it goes farther into the relationship, whether you trust the guy to tell you the truth.
I would rather a guy be comical because it makes me laugh. I'd rather laugh than sit there and cry. I'll go shopping and it's miserable enough, but I'd rather laugh. My boyfriend is really cool like that, though.
I've heard it said that you can get any woman you want if you buy them a drink and make them laugh. Is that true?
Yeah,
No.
Wrong.
What do you mean wrong?
but that goes back.
It's a
to
proven technique that has been passed down from generation to generation from men. Listen, if you buy them a
If a
drink
woman
and you
does
make them
not
laugh,
look
you
whatever-
got them.
if a
I get
woman
I mean, they'll
does
just
not
flop right there on their
like-
back.
No, if a woman isn't
They're like little
connected
crabs.
in some way first, there's absolutely no way.
That's so wrong. Yeah.
And there's only certain situations that women ever drink from a guy.
if that
on
were
purpose.
true, I would have slept with like a million guys.
I would, like I
seriously.
said,
I get bought
yeah.
drinks every time I go out to the bar.
Here's
Every
a s-
time.
a
I don't.
scenario.
But when I have a boyfriend, I don't take them.
Picture this
I do.
scenario. You meet
I
the
don't.
guy, and the first time, and you've had a date, and you're in the light, and the guy looks at you and he says, "We have a rule here," and then he bends down and kisses you. Now, doesn't that
Ew.
No.
We have a rule here.
It's a, but yeah,
Close
Ew.
to the mic.
yeah, a rule.
This is our rule. If I take you out, we have to kiss.
No, it's just. You
That's a
have-
great rule.
you have-
I like it. As a matter of fact, it saves me $5.95 for the drink.
Well, it takes it out of the friendship range. I was going farther.
And if he's a man, then he knows that it's more than $5.95 for a drink
Drink is
when
not
he's buying a woman a
necessary.
drink.
The drink is not necessary. The way he puts the move on you can be hot or cold.
Okay.
It's the confidence thing.
Right. Forget the drink.
So don't buy the drink.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The guy, I'll either drink it or not.
Well,
I've had women
still
get
buy
pissed
the
off
drink,
at me
but
because I
don't
didn't buy a
expect
drink.
anything.
yeah.
Laughing was important.
Yeah.
But you got to make
Or
them
they'll
laugh. If you can make them
actually-
laugh,
a
you're
lot
good.
of guys just go up to you and say, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?"
Okay, so if a guy has been, absolutely born and beat with the ugly stick his entire life and he looks like a walrus, but yet he can make you laugh, then he's good to go, right?
No.
Okay, you can't nod your head. You got to say something.
Not in my pants.
Definitely, that would be the first thing I see.
I would love to sit and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I would never.
So either if they've been beat with the ugly stick from the moment they were born, I mean, the baby was born, the doctor, instead of slapping it, grabbed out a huge stick and just started beating on that kid. Okay, from that point on, he's ugly as sin, but yet he's comical. He can make you laugh.
Then you would
Then-
be friends with him.
He's good to
yeah.
go.
You know, Jake.
See,
That's the nice
I
guy.
th- I think that's
the
kinda-
nice guy that gets bashed down by women.
I
but
think that's kind of not true, ladies, because it goes back to what I was saying before. These guys are standing back and they're looking at these guys ugly as sin with these attractive women. They're going, "How is this possible?" And if you ask them, they'll be like, "Oh, well, he's funny. He makes me laugh." I mean, that's what they say.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the walrus roll.
Yeah, but there's pheromones. Nobody-
Yeah.
I'm talking Elephant Man here.
I know. Like I said, I can't get over the. If I can't
depends
see
on
it
how
when I'm
ugly
If I
he
can't see
is,
it when I'm
I
standing
guess.
there, there's no point in seeing it laying down.
Okay, but women are. I mean, honestly, here, women are not as vain as men.
You either.
I mean, women are not as vain as men. I mean, right? I mean, you'd agree with that. I mean, how many of these guys you see walking around with these giant pot belly beer bellies? That's not attractive, right?
How many men do you see walking down the road not having one?
Not many.
Exactly.
So you're saying your choices are limited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna you just got to settle. You don't have a choice.
I have a choice now.
They look like the
But-
Elephant Man. You got to go with it.
So
You
Are
know,
you suggesting that a
That's
woman-
when you date girls.
even Elephant Men need love. I get it.
Yeah, that's when
But are
you
you
date other
suggesting-
girls. When you can't find a good
suggesting
man.
A woman has to have a man then, even if it's an elephant man? I mean, why? I mean, that's making it almost like
Exactly, Lady Blue. Exactly. So I mean, listen. If he doesn't appeal to you
Why-
aesthetically, why are you with him?
yeah.
I've
It's
never
money,
been.
right?
I've never done that. I've never been with somebody who wasn't
I've
appealing.
never. And if
But
my
you've seen
only
women that
choices
have-
were a walrus
I've
and an
seen
elephant,
women, and I kind of wonder what
Well,
he
I'd
must
rather buy a
have.
vibrator.
He's either hilarious.
What? What?
I said if the guy was a walrus, a hippo, or an elephant, I'd rather buy a vibrator than to be with
Oh
anyone.
my God. Okay. Okay, but you
That
see what
wasn't
I
too bad,
you
was
do see what I'm talking about. I mean, you obviously, I mean, you've seen it. I mean,
Right.
these women
I
are
don't
with these guys.
understand it per se, but he must be really funny, or maybe smart,
Or
have
got
a lot
money.
of money,
Yeah.
I don't
or
know.
whatever.
If I have sex with a guy, I'll have sex with a guy. Okay. If I'm good the first time, there's never going to be a second time.
Okay, but what brought you to that point? Well, I mean, once again, I mean, seriously, it's either
Because
the
it
guy's going to
doesn't
have money
matter
or he's going to
whether-
make you
It
laugh.
doesn't matter whether it's a guy with a lot of money. To some people, a guy that looks like an elephant.
Have you ever been with a guy with a lot of money?
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. Okay, here's another one for you. Damn it. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to go to a break. All right, we'll go to a break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. See you soon.
You better not be taking what he did
And we're back. You're listening to Jacob Larson. This is the Common Sense Show. Give us a call into the show. The number here is 541-284-7953. Again, 541-284-7953. We've got Lady Blue, Lady White, and Lady Blonde here talking about men. Okay, we had some conversations while we were on the break there, but I want to touch on this really quick before. One of the sayings out there is, treat a girl like dirt, and she will stick to you like mud.
That is so not true.
Not in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of true.
If a woman gets treated like dirt, guaranteed she can treat the guy worse.
Okay. Well, see, this is the thing. This is why this interests me, because there is kind of a psychological component that goes on here. And for whatever reason, this is like a standard known thing among men, that for if you are constantly catering to women and trying to do things for them, they simply don't respect you. They just don't, and you'll lose their respect.
I agree.
I totally agree.
Yeah. I got Theron back here. He's nodding his head. He's like, yeah. I mean, that's where. But on the other hand, if you show her that, hey, you know, I've got a little bit of an edge, and you can only do so much, and that a lot of times, I mean, they want you.
I've had some really crappy relationships, really crappy. And then I've had ones that were really, really good, but everybody else's perception was I was treated crappy. You know, when you're kind of there, you don't realize it.
Okay.
But you get tired of it eventually and leave.
So you both say it's not true, that if you treat a woman like crap, you know, but you say it's true.
I think it's true. If a man treats me too good, then I end up treating him like crap.
Because he doesn't have confidence. He's not
Right.
showing confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. Men can be asses.
Because the more they put up with you, the farther you go with things. And I think that a lot of humans do what they can get away with.
I don't know. A man treats a woman like crap,
So
then he's going to treat another woman at the same time like crap.
I think that we all try to push each other a little bit to see what we can get away with, but each person has to have their own boundary, and that's, you cut it off, and at that point, you decide. I mean, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And you either settle into
I think that's a
routine,
stereotype.
But I say no. I don't. I mean, where did these people come from? I don't know people like this. Men are.
Where do these people come from? You're surrounded by them on a day-to-day basis. You rub elbows with them okay. So I mean, but seriously, I mean, this is a basic known concept. Guys know this concept, and if you treat a woman too good, she won't respect you. I mean, you know that. So you got to treat them a little kind of like crap in order for them to stick around. I mean, that's the common guy knowledge.
women need limitations, guys. And if guys just do everything for them, then they know that they're gonna do it and keep doing everything for them, and they'll
they'll
end
just
up
treat 'em
taking
like
advantage of them.
Treat 'em like a puppet
It'll be
and-
like the nice
It's
guy
just
finished
men's
last again.
character. It's men's character. You know, men
It's men's
think
character,
that. You know, yeah. It's just men think that.
but
It's
they
not
don't
really
do
the
it.
actual. It's just what men think about themselves.
But they don't do it. Is that it?
They do sometimes. I don't know. I don't deal with men that treat me like crap.
It depends on
Right.
how crappy they're
Right.
treating you too.
I don't
Like, I know for me, like when my ex was extra nice and did everything for me all the time, which was like pretty much all the time.
Yeah, but
Then
prior
I-
experience,
I
to
wasn't
now,
as
I
nice.
was always the I'll treat you like crap person.
Okay, so we had some questions or things you wanted to bring up on the break. What was that?
Oh, I was just talking about men in general, as far as one of the biggest qualities that I don't think we've discussed here is consistency, how they treat their women. And by that I mean, you know, hot 1 minute, cold 1 minute, praising them 1 minute, and then going in, you know, maybe you didn't do something that pleased them or whatever, and then running them down. That's extremely important. You want a pretty even-natured fellow. That to me is huge.
So a guy that has got kind of an emotional roller coaster going, that's not good.
Exactly. Men can be moody. Bless their hearts. I actually am a great proponent of men here. I don't like to hear all these people, and women too. I should.
We all know
When
you
you're in a
hate men.
relationship,
I mean,
though,
that's
Yeah.
fine.
when you're in a relationship or dating a guy, you automatically get to know those things.
And you're automatically okay with those things?
It depends on what it is.
And I would.
But I know I do the same thing. I'm crazy.
So you
Yeah.
admit you're crazy.
Duh.
Okay.
If I didn't admit I was crazy, I guess I wouldn't.
So guys have emotions too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that's okay as long as they don't cry.
You know,
Right.
that's kind of what I was hoping that we'd touch on more too. Guys have what I consider a really soft underbelly, more so
Yeah. Right here.
than.
Okay.
That was a visual.
Nice.
Under their
No,
belt.
and it's I guess maybe I'm of a little older generation here, but it seems to me when you're in a relationship, both parties should be working towards what they can get from each other, not against each other. And it's like Lady White brought up, and it said something about
She's Lady Blonde.
Lady Blonde, excuse me.
She's Lady White.
Okay, that's right. Lady
That's
Blonde.
okay.
Okay. Anyway, brought up about if they do it for you, you just expect them to do it for you, and I would just take that a step farther and say, but if they're doing something, it's important. Why don't you learn to do it too? I think it's important to learn from each other. I think men and women have wonderful skills and traits for each other.
I think if it fits, it fits. Doesn't really matter the situation or the man. I think fits, it fits.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Everybody finds their own balance, and exactly.
Okay.
But I can guarantee you.
I feel like I'm
outside of
lost
we're
for
all
it.
thinking that men are jackasses.
Okay, wait, say that again. All I heard was all men are jackasses. What did you?
No, I said guaranteed. Outside of this conversation that we're having,
Yeah.
we're all thinking that men are just jackasses. That's
No.
the
Seriously?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
Okay, we had some private messages that were sent to me prior to the show by ladies that wanted to give their 2 cents on the topic, but didn't want to come on the show, that type of thing. And I can't say who they are or where it came from, so I'll just read some of these. This lady writes in. She says, "When my man was in prison, he wants me to be honest while he's in, and then when I am, he'll use it against me. While he's angry or upset at me, he'll give me the silent treatment and won't call me when he's the only one that can make the call."
That's that is stupid.
A no-brainer.
Okay, well, why is it a no-brainer? I mean, the guy's in prison, and she's obviously bothered because he wants her to be honest, so she's trying to be honest, and then he uses it
Yeah,
against
but
her,
what woman is
and then it's
honest while
upset.
her man is in prison?
What woman is honest when her man's in prison?
Yeah,
You're saying they're not?
of course.
So if a guy goes into prison,
She's gonna tell the guy whatever he wants to hear.
Or she is going to be honest, and that's going to happen, what she's talking about. But I think they should just break up if he's just going to give her silent
if he
treatment
wants-
for
yeah,
being...
if
If
he
he wants
dated
her
a
to
guy
be
in
honest,
prison,
and then
then he
she's
would
doing it,
keep
then
it for
he
a
gets
big
mad at
fat
her, then why
reason.
are they
It would
together?
happen one time, and then I either wouldn't tell him, or if he treated me that way after he'd asked the question, I probably would dissolve the relationship right there.
okay, so this is what I find about this message and your guys' response is, well, obviously the one the message. I mean, she's obviously bothered with what the behavior this guy's doing, and you guys, the moment I read, you all kind of went on, the behavior and what was said. Not one of you said, "Hey, wait a minute, what the hell is she doing with the guy who's in prison?"
I just said it. If he's in prison, he's there for an obvious
I mean,
reason.
isn't that a kind of a red flag? I mean, the guy's in prison. Why are women dating guys in prison?
I wouldn't.
If he went to prison, he's in there on purpose.
Well,
Okay.
and see,
He's in there big enough reason to be in prison.
So then you break up with him if you had a life prior,
yeah.
but you wouldn't
that's
start dating a guy that's in prison.
Right.
No.
I would.
I think
But
I
even
wouldn't.
if
I
I
wouldn't
was in
date
a
somebody who
relationship
went to
with a guy-
prison either way.
Yeah. If I was in
honestly.
a relationship with a guy and he went to prison, he wouldn't be my boyfriend anymore.
I would have to know the reason he went to prison.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, if it was something he wasn't of, then that's okay. Okay, what if you wouldn't date him anymore? What if you were with the guy for 10, 15 years?
If he went to prison, he's definitely in prison for a good reason.
Then he didn't
What if he
care
went to
enough
prison
about you.
defending you?
Well, then
I
that's
think
different.
so.
Okay.
But if he
if a guy's doing that,
if he
and
went to prison though, then he didn't care enough about you to stay out. It's his fault for going.
Maybe he was trying to protect you,
yeah,
and he ended up in prison.
Well,
there's
then
that.
I
There
guess
is
maybe
that.
that would be a different story. But
But
I don't
how
know.
often
Thanks for
does
saving my
how
life.
often does that
Sorry, you
happen?
have to serve a life
I
term.
mean, there's a real side to it, and then there's another side to it.
Yeah, this is all
you know.
hypothetical stuff here. I get
Well,
it.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So this is how guys get women in prison. Got it. Okay. Another one was said when you do everything for him, but he gives his mom the credit for what you do. He sees nothing wrong or fishy with his mother, who claims that she hates his ex, but then becomes friends with her on Facebook. He's oblivious to see that his mother is trying to start problems between the two of you. He's jealous that you are the one doing everything for him and she's not.
It's like that with my grandma and my uncle.
So-
I have an awesome relationship.
So
So-
family members that are jealous of your relationship,
Yeah.
and guys typically
It's a
don't do
deal
anything
breaker.
about it.
It's a deal breaker if the guy stand up and support his woman, his
My
wife.
last relationship was like that.
What if it's the other way around? I mean, do you do that would you do that for your man?
I always
Defend him against your
whoever
family?
I'm dating. I always
Absolutely.
defend them, and if my parents don't like them, then
Yeah.
I'm upset with my parents.
It depends upon what the situation is, though, too.
That's right.
It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
Meaning,
Yeah.
say
If
the
he's-
guy is treating my kids like crap, and my parents
Right.
like get into it,
okay.
you know,
Right.
and they either join forces with my ex or his ex or mom or whatever, you know, that's. a
So
good thing.
basically, by this guy, okay, what she's saying, basically by this guy allowing his mother to behave that way, he's taking his mother's side.
Yeah.
Right. That's wrong, I think.
And that's assuming that that the mother's not right.
Right, yeah.
It's different
was a good point
situations
you brought
for different situations.
right.
Okay, but that's definitely a
But if
no-no.
I was with a guy that did that consistently, I wouldn't stay that way.
Okay, here's another one. He pushes you away and says you're broke up and you're free to see other people. Then when you tell him you slept with someone else, it crushes him, and he has all these questions he wants to ask you about what you did with that other person. What do you think about
Don't
guys like
answer
that?
the question.
What do you think
don't
about
want
guys
you,
like
but
that?
They don't want anybody else to have you.
Huh?
They don't want you, but they don't want anybody else to have you. It's ownership. Men think dogs. They piss on something. They think they own it.
Oh,
It's their
my-
territory.
So you literally just equated women to something that's being peed on?
No, I just said that about men. Men, they think they own it because they sleep with it.
Because
they
they
can't have it.
sleeping with her.
Yeah.
If
But
they did
it's like
before,
a
they
dog.
still
If a
see
dog
it as
pisses on
their
something,
woman
it's
or their.
territorial. Guys are
It's
the
their
same way.
belonging.
So you're either pissed on or pissed off.
Exactly.
Okay. So okay, but can you fault a guy for that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we get in trouble for doing it.
But why waste your time?
Guys get
Just laugh
pissy.
in his
Guys,
face.
no, seriously, guys pissy when chicks do that to them.
He
When they-
shouldn't have
Really?
said that to her.
When they sleep
Yeah.
or no, this is when you're broke up. Okay, so yeah, you're
Yeah.
broke up, you're free to see other people,
Yeah.
and then you see somebody else, he gets crushed by it. So
Yeah,
But
and
he said that she could, so he can't really be mad.
Right.
okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for the woman to do it. It's obsessive, and you're being creepy, and you're following me, and get off me. But it's okay for the guy to do it. Like I said, it's like a dog pissing on the rock. It's his territory.
So
Guys
if a
think
guy
it's
breaks
his
up-
territory, you know, and the other girl goes to see somebody else. of course
okay,
he's
but
gonna be pissed.
you're telling me if the roles were reversed,
It's not okay for guys.
okay,
Guys
but
don't like
wouldn't you be crushed too if during a breakup your guy was with somebody else and he told you about it?
You know, it depends on the guy.
Well, if
'Cause
I told him that
broke
he
up-
could sleep with someone
yeah,
else,
if I broke
like,
up, for
You wouldn't have a
then
problem.
you couldn't really fault him. You could be upset about it and be crushed.
I
But,
have-
like, it's not really your right to ask questions
Yeah,
about
but
it if
see,
you said
I've
that he
broken
could
up
do
with
it.
guys and introduced them to girls.
Really?
So I mean, it just depends on the guy. Because I have.
You're making
You know.
you're making the assumption here that the person doing the breaking up, whether it's the man or the woman, doesn't know what they want or are talking about. It's like buyer's remorse, or
Buyer's remorse.
I mean, I don't. if you wanted to break up, why would you even care?
It's
what
like
they were
buying a
doing?
puppy from a pet.
Okay, but,
store
but fact,
kid.
doesn't the fact that they do care, doesn't that say something?
Yeah, it says that they made a mistake, and that's too bad for them.
Yeah,
saying
it's like,
that-
oh poor me, oh poor me.
I will say this. Women do seem to be a lot more forgiving it comes to this type of thing, and guys not so much. I mean, from a guy, I mean, I get it, but it's like, why is that? Why is it that way? Why are women seem to be more forgiving when it comes to that?
I think we just seem forgiving. We just don't really care.
Yeah, we might seem
don't-
maybe
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
take
you
you back, but
represent
you'll
the
be
angels. I
paying
get it.
for
Come
it.
on.
You'll be
Yeah.
paying for it for a long time.
Yeah.
We might be we might seem like we're forgiving by
We
taking
just
you back,
really
but
don't
you'll
give a
pay.
crap. Honestly,
But we'll
we
pay.
really don't.
You'll pay for it.
Some do,
with all the
some- I don't ever
resentment
give
and
a
everything
crap.
that you'll have to go through with your woman when we take you back.
Yeah.
All of her resentment for whatever. I mean, yeah, we appear to be forgiving and everything,
That's like buying
but
a horse back from a glue factory.
So yeah, basically what you're saying is they'll take you back if you do that, but the bottom line is you'll pay for it later on, type of deal. Is that what you're saying?
well, I'm saying you said, okay, you told me that women seem more forgiving than men. Well, we seem that way, and yeah, we seem that way because we usually take the man back, but realistically, it doesn't make us more forgiving just because you'll pay for it by having to go through all of our trust issues and resentment.
Well, there's a
and
reason you broke up, and it's just retarded to get back together anyway.
yeah, I mean,
So
but
it's
if you,
pointless.
but that overall,
But
in
people do
general,
that all
when
the
women
time.
take
I don't.
someone
People do it
back-
all the time, and there's two parts.
Something else I don't hear being said here is that women actually have more logical minds than men would like to admit to.
I would so disagree.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I'm a
Oh.
woman,
Oh,
but I
my
would disagree
God.
with that.
Oh,
You didn't just, Lady Blue. You didn't just say that.
I did say that.
No,
and
the vein in my
I
head just,
disagree with
I
that
think it
too.
exploded.
About-
I really do. I think there's
Men
like
are more logical than women.
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
that
I don't-
anybody's
Biologically and
I
everything.
think it just
Disagree.
depends on the person and the relationship and the situation.
literally my head hurts right now.
They've
I mean,
done
I'm in
studies
pain.
on
My
it.
head
They've done
hurts, too.
studies on it.
Sorry
Men are
about
more
that.
logical creatures.
I don't think
Women are
humans
more
I don't
emotional.
think humans themselves are meant to be logical.
Okay, I'm speaking for myself now. Just came up. I was immediately, my mind was sorting through this guy that we're going to take. Now, why are we taking him back? I went through all the reasons. What does he offer me, and what not offer me? And I was coming to the conclusion, would he be worth it? And that literally went right through my head. So I call that logical. Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that would be
just wouldn't do
emotional.
it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I am. I'm a blibbering idiot right now because I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, it does not compute in my brain.
Be logical then and figure it out.
On that one,
Yeah.
I don't think there's.
Sky's
anything to
officially
figure that
green.
one out.
Okay, so let's see.
You almost got it.
I almost got what? You can't kick me either.
Oh yes, I can.
Okay, let's see here. Here's another one. I hate it when guys fish for attention on Facebook just to get your attention and the attention of other females in an effort to make you jealous when you get into an argument or pretend to not be interested.
Just let them. They need an ego boost. Just let them do it.
I don't know. I get irritated sometimes, but doesn't
Facebook
really
has a way
matter.
of
Yeah,
doing
but
that.
it doesn't really matter because I know all of their pictures aren't real.
I think the more confidence the woman has, the
Or,
more
it's, or
hysterical she
everything's
finds it.
photoshopped.
Yeah,
and the
I
woman is
agree. I just
listening
think
to
it's
the guy
funny.
because they don't have anything else to do.
You think it's funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my man, that I broke up with just a little while back, he would say, "Ooh, that girl's hot," and I'd be like, "You're right, she is."
Yeah.
And but if you feed into it, then they keep going and going, and
It's
then
like you telling a kid
it-
no.
So, do you think this is a game? I
Yeah.
mean, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of a game that's being played.
But as women, we should be able to see right through it because we play games more than guys do. You should know that they're just playing a
I
game
don't
with
play
you.
games. I don't know about you.
Because we're
If
logical.
I can do,
So if you
I
get in an
have-
argument, you don't immediately get on Facebook and start chatting up other guys. Just I feel
No.
jealous, or okay.
I don't
I
have
would-
a reason to. I
if-
get pissed off.
if
and
my
I either
man
walk
were
away or
to-
start sewing.
Post a hot picture of himself with his shirt off, say fishing for attention on Facebook, then I would comment on
You
it
know,
too and be
if
like,
my
looking
boyfriend
good.
went fishing on the internet for attention, he would have to take the coconuts off.
Okay, let's see. Here's another one. Guys that are jealous when he sees you. Guys that are jealous when he sees you with anybody else, even females, even other females. So overtly jealous men.
Like I said,
What about
that's
those?
a dog pissing on a rock. They think they own you.
I think jealousy is attractive to a certain extent, but if they're going overboard and like you can't call and talk to your
There's a
friends
difference
or
between
whatever.
protective
But if
and
yeah,
jealous, though.
Yeah.
I mean
A lot
jealousy.
Of women think that protection is jealousy.
Jealousy is just
and
fear of
vice versa.
abandonment.
Okay.
So it's probably a lot of their jealousy is just in their own securities.
A fear of abandonment, as in, I mean,
As
Like
in
if
you're gonna
another-
be with
it's-
some.
Yeah. If
That's
another
why they're
guy's
jealous
better
that you're
than
talking
me,
to
then,
other people,
yeah.
even girls.
It's like guys, they're whiners about it.
guys are whiners about it.
About jealousy, yeah.
How so?
Because they just are. Oh, you're doing this and you're doing that. Meh, meh, meh. Honestly, sorry. I could go on and on and on about my whole entire opinion on that one. I dealt with it for how many years?
So you get that a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that a million times.
So you think it's unfounded that guys are jealous or behave that way?
Yeah, if they're with a woman that they care about, then they shouldn't have to be jealous.
Okay, but do you think the woman's behavior has anything to play a role into any of that?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
the
just a
same. I
reaction
am
to the woman's
totally-
actions, but
yeah, it's
but
about
some
the
guys are
situation
just
and the
literally
people.
just jealous in nature also.
I wouldn't
so
date a
it
guy
really
that was
depends.
like that, though. I wouldn't.
I
I'd
don't
wanna
mind a
date-
jealous person
Yeah.
unless you're like absolutely controlling my life, then it's too much. But if you're just like, why were you talking to them? Then I'll answer and then we can move on.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
think I would find it cute for about 3 minutes, and then
Yeah.
I'd want it done.
Maybe.
and get over it.
I don't know. I have an awesome relationship, though. I mean, honestly, I don't have that to worry about.
Yeah, and they're listening in, so you're really
I
careful
don't
about what
care.
you're saying, which is
You
great.
can listen. I don't care. I really don't.
Okay, so bottom line is there's, a fine line between positive jealousy and jealousy that's over the top.
Like I said,
Right.
it's the situation.
Okay. Guys have double standards. He can, but you can't. You think double
Isn't
standards
that
come out
just
from?
what I said about the dogs pissing on the rock? Guys think it's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for the women to do it.
Okay.
It's their territory. Guys think it's their territory.
Why would it be okay for women to do that?
To
I
do
don't know.
what?
I try not to do that.
Well, I'm assuming that you're referring to sleeping around.
Well, if a guy slept around, he sure as hell wouldn't be sleeping with me.
Okay, but once again, you just got. I mean, you said it's
That's
okay for
not a
it's
double
okay for
standard.
them to do it, but it's not okay for women to do it. So if a guy's sleeping around for whatever reason, he thinks is okay, but for women, it's not okay. Is that right?
Situation. It depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation.
That's crap.
It's
Well,
crap.
it
Why is it
does.
crap?
I mean, it
crap.
does depend on the situation. 'cause
Men and there's no distinction. It's wrong. Period for either one. Why? It's just crap.
a real relationship though is based on emotion, not sex.
Okay.
So it's the situation. For some people that are moral in their relationships, they've grown up that way, and that's how it should be. For me, I really didn't have that influence, so I do whatever. Mr. Blonde over here.
Lady Blonde.
Sorry, I know I called you Miss, but she also has a different view. We're all 20 years apart in our
Yeah.
opinions.
Well, that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a good
I
thing.
mean, she has the in between. I have mine, and she has hers. So,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
the
it's-
bottom line is, though, I mean, when it comes to that subject, like Lady Blue said, I mean, in your opinion, it's bad behavior, period, straight across the board. So you don't think women have a right to justify that type of behavior either? Or do you disagree? See, you look like you have a question mark on your head, like you disagree.
Like I said, it's situational.
I'm thinking you disagree. So you think that if a man behaves that way, women should be able to behave that way too, and not have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be pretty equal. I don't think a man should get mad at a woman for doing something that he has done himself or would do.
Put it this way: what's not good for the goose is not good for the gander.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. What about
Kind of.
guys that, when you're with them, they can't keep their eyes off other women? They're constantly notice other women,
I'm always pointing
gawking
the
at other
chicks
women,
out.
flirting with other women when they're around you.
I do. I'm always pointing the chick out.
I think it's a little different. My answer is going to be a little different because I have been with men and women. And so when I was dating my
You
man,
have no
my
idea
last
how many
man,
guys start tuning in right now as soon as you said
when
that.
I was dating my last man, he would always look at other girls, and I would be like, yeah, she's hot. Or I'd be like, oh, man, you have horrible taste. I wouldn't sleep with that girl with a bag on her head. But the only time I ever really got upset about it was when he
when you
found
were
a girl that
dating a
looked
girl.
exactly like me.
See, dating a
Then I was like,
but
ooh,
dating
you
a
already have
girl-
one of those.
Dating a girl, it's worse because they look at every woman. Men, they only look at part of a woman. You know?
Okay.
But again, I get a bad rap on that. I think they can't help it. They are, they're pathetic. They're hard. They are hired to have. They just can't help themselves. I quit bashing my.
I think you
Women
shouldn't
look
get
at
mad.
guys-
It's okay
women
for
look at
guys
guys,
to
too.
look. I mean, if they're gonna go over and like grab the girl's butt or something, then that's kind of over the top. But like, if he's like, that girl's hot, we should go talk to her, then I'm like, all right, let's go talk to her.
But see, also, it's okay for a woman to walk up to a woman and grab her ass. It's not okay for a guy to walk up to a woman and grab her ass. So.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's
Do
new
it
news
best-
to me.
Well,
Seems
no,
like it's
when a
news to
woman
you.
sees
Well,
another
if you
woman,
know-
she can
if you
go
know
up
her,
and
though.
Talk to her, hug her, and
I
you know,
guess-
all that stuff.
If
I
you
guess
know
I've
them.
had a random girl grab my ass and I didn't care.
I've had a
I was
couple
like,
of
hey,
random
what's
girls
up?
grab my ass. But still, if a guy does it, I'm gonna kick him.
If a man does it, then you're like offended.
I'd kick either one of them.
Okay, but there's a distinction between people that you know and just random strangers. I mean, right?
know.
When it comes to something like that.
I don't know.
I don't
It's-
know. I guess
it's
I wouldn't be mad
nature.
either way, unless
It's
the girl
nature.
was just like,
It's like with birds. The
Scary
more
looking
attractive
or
the bird is, the more mates it gets. So men look. You know,
So
attractive is attractive.
bottom line is, when it comes to looking and stuff like that, okay for a guy to look as long as he doesn't spend too much time or do overtly response type stuff,
right.
right?
But I know
Is that what
a
we're
lot
saying?
of women would disagree. I have a
Being
lot of
looking is
girlfriends
not
that
such
would
an
be
opinion.
pissed.
That's what makes him a
That's
man
harmless.
and confident. I think that's part of his man.
But a lot of women would get upset with
A
that.
lot of women are insecure, though.
A lot of act
And
on it.
yeah, I think a lot of women are insecure and would have a problem with their man looking at another woman.
All right, folks. That's the end of our show today. If you'd like what you heard today, please support the show. Go to www.buycommonsense.com. Click on supporting the show section. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you. Pop me an email and I'll get you set up. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week, same day, same time.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomas in Washington.